Please welcome our leading comedian and humanitarian, Michael Mittermeier, and the winner of the Alternative Nobel Prize, Bianca Jagger.
2 years ago, I was standing here on the same stage shortly after I came back from a trip to Burma. With the help of Cinema for Peace and the British filmmaker Rex Blumstein, I made a film, a documentary film about a Burmese comedian called Jagger. We went there because Jagger, for me, was a hero. He since over 20 years, he was fighting injustice and fighting for freedom side by side with Aung San Suu Kyi. And we made this small little film, this prison where I lived, to raise attention for the injustice in Burma going on, and to perhaps build pressure to get a release for Jagger. The thing is, he was fighting injustice for such a long time, just with his wit, his satire, his jokes. And jokes can really be a weapon. And the thing is also, movies can be a weapon and can make a difference. And I have to thank all the cast and the makers of the film. The lady, I saw the film yesterday. I love the film. It's a wonderful film, and it's a big love story, and at the same time, it's a powerful statement for human rights. And that's the thing. I have the feeling that love is the basis of everything. It's kind of in tragedy and in comedy. When I saw the film yesterday, there are two small scenes where my friend Jagger, I call him my friend, since 2.5 years I'm so with him, and in two scenes there is an actor performing him. I was so proud to see him in a big movie like this. And after the premiere last night, I sent him a mail and I said to him, "Hey, Zach, did you know you're in the film from Luc Besson film? It's huge." And he is pleased, and he sends his love to everyone who made this film possible. And he wants to meet you in the future. And I think he hopes that the guy is funny, because if not, bad reputation for a comedian. Thanks for this incredible film, and we hope that the reforms which are going on now in Burma, there's a lot of things going on and breaking up. We hope that the happy end, which is not in the film, be perhaps in real life, in a time, and perhaps we all travel to Burma at a certain time. Yeah.
I always believe that there is room for the unscripted, and I will hate myself if I left today without saying that we must all call upon Russia and the Chinese to lift the veto and allow us to be able to stop the onslaught in Syria. I was in Bosnia, and I saw the genocide, and I saw the silence that prevailed throughout Europe and the US, and that is the reason why I think that we must all do what is necessary to stop the massacre of the civilians in Syria today. But let's go back to what we are here. In The Lady, the outstanding film by Luc Besson, we discover Aung San Suu Kyi, who is a modern-day heroine, movingly portrayed by Yeoh. And I must say, Michelle, you managed to capture her in such a way that it was very difficult to make the difference between Aung San Suu Kyi and your portrayal. Aung San Suu Kyi is really a heroine in today's world. We witness her struggle for peace in the midst of a personal life tragedy. Her political involvement started in 1988 as the Burma military coup d'etat. She has spent most of the last 20 years in some form of detention because of her effort to bring democracy to military rule Burma. Her life has been inspired by nonviolent American civil rights leader Martin Luther King and India's Mahatma Gandhi. Organizing rallies and traveling around the country, calling for peaceful democratic reforms and free election, she has become an international symbol of peaceful resistance in the face of oppression. She is what we will call an agent for change, and she proves that you can achieve change through peaceful resistance. In 1990, Aung San Suu Kyi party, the National League for Democracy, convincingly won the polls, despite the fact that she herself was under house arrest and disqualified from standing. And in 1991, the Norwegian Nobel Committee awarded the Nobel Peace Prize to Aung San Suu Kyi for her nonviolent struggle for democracy, human rights, and ethnic reconciliation. The committee chairman, Francis Sejersted, called her an outstanding example of the power of the powerless. Aung San Suu Kyi was finally released on the 13th of November 2010, just 6 days after elections held in Burma, thereby ensuring that once again she was in detention during elections. It is our hope today that this film would help to propagate the information that we need to know about Burma, and that perhaps one day we will be able to see her in power in free Burma. During her 21 years of struggle to attain democracy and social justice in Burma, Aung San Suu Kyi has continuously chosen to support the Burmese people in the fight for human rights, and she has put their fate over her own freedom and happiness. This comes very clearly in this brilliant film, and it is so painful to see her not be able to go at the side of her husband before he dies. This is really a wonderful film that if you haven't seen it, you must do. No matter, and that is, I would like to finish with one wonderful, powerful words that she said: no matter the regime's physical power, in the end, they can't stop the people, they can stop freedom. And that is what we hope will happen all over the world today in all the struggle.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Yeoh.
Dr. Alice, your visa is cancelled. You are to come with us to the airport. Let's go, let's go.
So many other things are happening. I hardly know where to begin.
Hello?
Sue!
If you die, the boys lose their mother, and your people their best defender. Can I try something?
It was very difficult to predict the progress of something like this. It could be as little as 5 months.
Do you think I should come and see you?
No, 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 no. You are not even to consider it.
I've missed you. How are you, darling?
Courage, Sue. Courage. We have good cheer.
You are free to choose, madam. Your husband and children, or your country.
The winner of the International International Human Rights Film Award is Aung San Suu Kyi and the film The Lady by Luc Besson with Michelle Yeoh.
Please don't do that again to me. I'm very emotional. Before to say anything, I just want to ask Michelle Yeoh to come with me, because there's no film without you. I'm not so good to talk about myself, so I'm going to talk about a woman who changed my life. She's more than a woman, she's a lady. And I didn't know so much her story, and I read the script and I cried like a baby. I decided to cancel my entire schedule for the next 2 years, and I decided to make this film, and I'm very proud that I've made it. She changed my life. She fights for democracy. She doesn't want power. She doesn't want money. She's an example of human dignity. And this prize goes to her for sure. And if now she's able maybe to see internet, so Miss Aung San Suu Kyi, if you see me today, you're the Queen of Peace. We have seen tonight how films and images can be so strong. I'm so amazed by all the images I've seen tonight. It's just amazing. And just to my humble level with this film, I was very scared to show the film to Burma's association, as you can imagine. I am not Asian, I'm not Burmese, so I was freaking out to show the film to them. And they cried for the entire film. And at the end, one of them said to me, I have never seen my country on a big screen. So I hope one day cinema can be in Burma and we can have some good, great Burmese director who will be able to come here for the next years. Thank you so much.
To be able to address you today on the 13th of February has a very special meaning for me. Today is my father's birthday, and he would have been extremely pleased that I'm addressing the annual Cinema for Peace Gala and thanking you at the same time for awarding me the International Human Rights Film Award. The United Nations Charter for Human Rights makes it very obvious that we need to uphold human rights if we are to avoid violence and destructive wars in future. For this reason, our everyday life has to be involved with the upholding of the basic humanity of all human beings. The cinema plays a very important role in our society today. The cinema has great influence on how people think and how people shape their lives. For this reason, we appeal to you who are in a position to decide whether or not the cinema is going to be used for peace or for war and violence, to help our world to be the kind of planet in which we can all be happy and secure. While I'm talking about the cinema and its role in achieving peace, I cannot help but mention that we in Burma are trying to make a film of my father's life. This will not only be with the aim of educating our young people with regard to the history of our independence movement, but also with providing them with an opportunity to rethink their view of our country today. So may I take the opportunity to ask all of you to assist us in our endeavors to make the kind of film which has not yet been attempted in the history of our country. And we would like to think that such a film will help to promote peace and human rights in our country, in our region, and in the rest of the world. And I very much hope that the time will come when I can join you, perhaps for the screening of a film about my father's life, but certainly in an effort to promote the role of the cinema in guarding the interests of all those who love peace and who respect human rights. Thank you.
I would just like to thank Cinema for Peace for shining the light on not just Burma, but in my part of the country, in Asia. And we know we need it desperately. So let's all continue to weave our magic so that the voiceless and the helpless can continue to be seen and heard. Thank you very much for this honor. Thank you.